Hello everyone, this is Plankera, and welcome to my universe. Today, I'm going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. So yesterday, for whatever reason, I just got really fixated on this little strand running over her bangs, and I do think it looks a lot better. The adjustments were good. But here we are. Anyway, I just wanted to make a few adjustments there, and then I was going to go fix everything in the corners. Because I had not done that yet. By the time I finished it, I just looked at all the squirming in the corners and I was like, I am hungry. And also tired. So I decided it would be a good time to go grab some food. So today, I'll go ahead and fix the strand in the corners and do the few last little corrections that I want to do for the 4 cardinal directions. Hold on, got a piece of hair in my eye. Just a moment there. There we go. Got stuck in my eyelashes. Felt a little bit unpleasant. Yeah, there we go. And I think it's moving pretty well. Gonna check the other angles just one last time. Feel like there was a little bit of shifting right through there. So I guess I'll revisit this downward angle just a little bit. I also feel like the very tip of it is growing just a little bit. So I'll slide that in there. Gotta get the tip right first, and then I'll worry about those last parts. Just because I do think that the very tip of the strand is actually more important. Okay, this does indeed sound like a good time to consult the mesh. Let's see here, what's making all this not do what I want it to do? Okay. This is where I have ideas. Okay, I think that's a little bit better, so now we'll go ahead and work on the stuff that's a little bit higher up. Yeah, and I can already kind of see where the vertices are getting a little bit misaligned here. It's probably what I'm seeing when I saw it just squirm a little bit weirdly right through here. Yeah, there we go. That's all nice and evened out now, so let's see how that looks. Still see a little shift right up there. Let's continue poking up there just a little bit more. Okay, it looks like it's nothing too dramatic. Just need to point these vertices a little bit more this direction. And that should fix all of my problems. In theory. Okay, and now I think it might just be that that strand is just a little bit thick. Got a little bit too thick through there, so let's go ahead and adjust the vertices on both sides to make it just a little bit thinner. Okay, let's see how that is. This is rigging in the end, just... Oh, I see something wrong there. Did I fix it? Yes, no. Tends to be how it goes. And now that I actually look at it, I think I want to adjust the very top just a little bit as well. Just a little bit. That's okay, I think it's important to get these areas on the four edges good before I go into the corners. Hair went into my eyelashes again. I'm not sure what's up with that, but it's kind of annoying. Might need to adjust my headphones. And I don't think my glasses have quite recovered from my, kids bashing their head into them recently. These glasses, they've seen some things. They've had some experiences. They've suffered many, bumps and bruises. And unfortunately, unlike humans, glasses do not heal. So, they just live with the trauma forever. I've mostly managed to bend them back into shape, but, sometimes they still have some trouble. Really do need to get new ones at some point, but I was hoping to hold out a little bit longer, so hopefully my kids will be at the point where they're not just, I don't know, randomly smashing stuff into my face. Tiny ones do not know their own strength, and they are surprisingly strong for such tiny little beings. It's funny, sometimes I walk downstairs or go do something else for a little bit, and then I go back upstairs and suddenly it's chaos. It's typically very cute though, the other day, I was downstairs for a little bit doing some stuff and go back upstairs and I just see my son kicking a ball around the room and he's having a great time. Fortunately, I don't really have anything fragile in my house. I used to have a few more things, but yeah, as you might imagine, they don't exist anymore. So, I don't really keep fragile things around the house anymore. And, and so I don't really mind him kicking the ball around, and it was staying on the ground. It was nothing dangerous. It was just super cute, and he was so excited. Just giggling up a storm watching the ball roll around. Absolutely adorable. They are truly wonderful. Anytime I think of them, I just always think of attitudes towards people and children on the internet. And I always think it's a little bit of a shame. And I mean, it's not even just kids, it's also just people in general, where we act like other people are just extremely inconvenient and terrible. But when I go and look back on my life, a lot of what made it great was other people. You just gotta find the right ones. And I don't even mean it in terms of starting a family. You just gotta find the right ones. I think a lot of how a person's life defined is measured by two things. The things they do and the people that they meet. At least that's how it's been for me. I just think of all the stuff that I've made and all the cool people that I've gotten to talk to. The way that they've helped me develop and the way that I've probably influenced them and all those things. It's there. And it matters. So, even if people do annoy me sometimes, I do my best not to treat them like they're a nuisance. Doesn't mean I have to be friends with them. But they're still a person too. And there's probably reasons for the way they are, and even if there's not, even if for whatever reason we're just not compatible, that's fine. They can exist over there. And I can go find other people. We can both go find other people. There's lots of people. We can go find them. Go find the people that are meaningful to us. Alright, I think that is looking much better. The down angle still has some things I don't quite like about it, though. So I guess here, once again, I'm gonna get hyper-fixated on this little strand. It's okay, I kind of expected that when I started today, because I knew that I was gonna want to do the corners. And of course, before I do the corners, I want to make sure that everything else is just right. So that this way I don't have to make a bunch of adjustments while I'm trying to do the corners. I mean, I probably will anyway, just because that's how things work. That tends to be just how rigging works out. But still, I'd like to work out all the little problems that I can see before going into the corners. I think it makes life a little bit easier. Although now that I think about it, I remember that I said that next time I do a big rigging project like this, that I should try working on the corners at the same time. And using information that I get from them to make the 4 cardinal directions better. Even if it means I have to unset everything I did in the corners once I get them a little bit better. So who knows? Maybe I shouldn't be trying to do stuff like that. Well, something to keep in mind for the next big rigging project I do. And actually, that does remind me of a game idea that's been sitting in my head. I have been very much enjoying the few dress-up games that I play, but there's not very many of them. And I think that's honestly kind of unfortunate. Just the combination of, like, the dress-up doll designers that you see on the internet with like some actual gameplay behind it. And the ones that are out there, typically the gameplay is not that good. So I've been wanting to take a stab at making my own. And seeing what I can do with that idea, and how I want all this to work. And for a while I was thinking that I might have to do it all in 3D, so I was looking into how to do some 3D modeling and stuff. I am not super familiar with 3D stuff, but I liked the idea of being able to properly pose the characters and whatnot. Ah, hello there, Tongai. Aw. Well, thank you. I'm glad that I encouraged you to draw. That's actually really nice to hear. Drawing is great. Art is great in general. And I think it's wonderful when you're able to prioritize it in your life just a little bit more, even if it's only for just a little bit. But yes, keep doing what you do. And if you ever have anything you want to show me, feel free to drop me a message somewhere. I would absolutely love to see what you're making. Yes, I am too. Do you have it uploaded to the internet somewhere? Like, you can always, if you have it uploaded anywhere, Twitter, like DeviantArt, Pixiv, just anywhere you can upload it. I guess strictly speaking, you could even upload it to like the community tab on your YouTube page, since you have a YouTube account. And I don't think the chat will let you send a link, but if you message me on Twitter, or if you don't have a Twitter account, just tell me where you have an account and I'll see if it has a messaging feature. Alright, I think I'm finally ready to get into the corners here. Let's go. Got lots of things that need to move around. Okay. Alright. Well, if you have a place, just let me know. And like I said, since you do apparently have a YouTube account, if you're able to type messages in chat, you can always try uploading it onto the community tab on your channel. That is a pretty reliable place. YouTube will kill the quality on your image, but it's at least something. Alright. Good luck. And no rush. As always, if you want to share it, I am here. I am always very excited to see what people are working on. Bye-bye. Have a nice day, and thanks for stopping by. Alright, so I'm just trying to get the basic shape that I changed onto these corner ones. Still a bit messy, but that's okay. Everything starts out a bit messy. Just gotta get that initial sketch down. I guess my brain has decided it wants to do the upper left first. Seems like a good a spot as any to start. But yeah, what I was saying before about potentially making kind of a thing with a dress-up mechanic on the side there. I call it that, but I always tend to think of it in terms of I like designing characters and stuff. And so I always think that giving people the opportunity to be able to do that, even if they can't draw, is pretty cool too. So I think that's part of my interest with that. And at first I was thinking that I would have to do it in 3D, because I kind of gave more options for texture and colorization, posing, and some of these things. But I'm wondering if I can get away with doing it in 2D if I get good enough with this program here. Because that might let me have some posing options without just having to draw things in a million different ways. And that might be kind of cool. So that will probably also be something that I look into. So you can definitely expect to see a lot more Inochi2D in the future, especially if I end up really wanting to go into that rabbit hole. And I might. It sounds like it'd be a good time. And it would just also mean that I could pretty easily make things animated and whatnot. But first I kind of had to figure out exactly how I want the game to be. I already have some ideas. I haven't talked about it much because it's still in what I call a very gaseous form. Meaning if you squint, maybe you can see it, but it's very translucent, you can't really grab it. It's not really there yet. I wouldn't call it real. But I've always kind of liked the idea of developing a wordless social game, if that makes sense. Just a game where you're able to do stuff and kind of interact with other people, but not necessarily with words and talking. Where the gameplay itself just encourages you to, I don't know, do something with other people. So, about the only other game that I can think of that does something similar to what I'm describing would be Journey. I have never actually played Journey, I just know a little bit about it. But that's kind of the vibe I'm going for. And I've actually heard that the people that made Journey are making a mobile game as well. I think I saw it in early access on Steam. Looks kind of cool. I might try it at some point. Since I too kind of want to dig into kind of that kind of socialization. Because I think a lot of socialization in games can feel kind of forced. Especially in like MMOs where, you know, you're looking for a party and that's great and all. But if the person in your party isn't very good, you're just going to hate them. And I don't think that's very healthy. If you just kind of want to vibe with people. Or worse, competitive games like League. That's a real good way to make you hate people. And it's very much not what I'm going for. So, still got a lot to figure out in that regard. But it is an idea that I have been playing with for a while in couple of different forms. So I think it'd be pretty cool if I could make it real. Make it something that people can actually touch, instead of the weird gaseous form that I'm pretty sure only I can see. But the roots are there. That is why it's gaseous and not just something in my brain. It has taken the first step to becoming real. I feel like I'm doing a retelling of the Velveteen Rabbit or something. Alright, and over here, I just want to clean up the curve on this hair. Gotta get the strand all good. The highlights and stuff are shifting in it, but I think I have the overall shape looking good. Maybe a little bit through here is a little bit off still. Just a little bit. It's not that far off, though. I think most of what I'm seeing is just shifting in the highlights. But I do think I could make this curve just a little bit nicer, so let's do that before I start worrying about the shifting highlights. Yeah, that seems pretty good. And maybe the tip needs to go just a teeny tiny bit further to the right to compensate for how the rest of her head is moving. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. Now I just have to get it the right length. I think it's a little bit short. Just all these little things here. I don't quite like the shape of the curve. I need it... I like where the tip is moving, but the shape of the curve got all, like, decurved. It is no longer cute and curly, so I need to go in and fix that up. Yeah, there we go. Now it's nice. I might need to clean up the curve a little bit, but the general gist, I think, is great. Okay, let's fix up those highlights. This is where mesh consultation comes back in. Gonna ask it a few questions here. For some reason, this reminds me of a really weird dream I had last night, where apparently I was involved in some weird reality warping situation where pretty much anything that I'd say would come true, or otherwise that if I didn't want something to happen, it wouldn't, I guess. It's a little bit weird to describe, but apparently I just straight up killed a dude, walked away, and happened to run into someone and said that, yeah, this dude apparently just, like, randomly died. And, somebody else was being accused of finishing him off, and how do I describe this? Because, like, I mean, it was a weird dream. And I apparently didn't like somebody being accused of what I did. Like, they were making it sound like it happened at the same time that I was meeting somebody else elsewhere, and therefore I would just completely get away with it if I didn't intervene. But I was aware that there was some weird reality warping nonsense going on, so I decided to go help out this person. And make it so that they wouldn't have a problem, and shenanigans ensued, and things got very strange. And I think I just, in the end, managed to convince everyone that he died of a heart attack. So, that was a dream. It kind of fits well with being the writer recently. As I've said in the past that I'm not used to writing stories on my own. Typically, I have only done it in a collaborative form, typically through some kind of role-playing thing. And now suddenly I control everything. And it really did feel like being the writer. And negotiating with my characters and asking what they wanted to do. Very, very strange feeling, and somehow different from proper lucid dreaming, where you can control everything. Where here, it's like I simultaneously controlled everything and also not everything. So that was pretty interesting. Because I do dream lucidly most of the time, but this was distinctly different. I know, right? It was a very weird dream and very difficult to describe. Because it wasn't the amount of control that I'd expect from lucid dreaming, but at the same time, it kind of felt like it. But I actually had to convince everyone, all the other people in the dream, that what was happening was real. So, it was pretty wild. I've always been happy that I remember most of my dreams. It's just, most of them are kind of, if not mundane, then, not always super interesting, I guess is the best way to put it. Like, it's not unusual for me to just have a dream where I'm going on a walk. Just doing stuff. And then occasionally I get weird ones like this. So, those are always a bit more fun. Alright, yeah, I think this is coming together well. Just need to kind of get the right thickness for certain parts. I think some of them got a little bit thinner. So let's thicken things up just right through here just a little bit. And I think I want it to go slightly to the right as well. Gotta get a big brush for this, just to make sure that everything kind of moves at the same rate and it doesn't get thin again. That would just be unfortunate right after I fixed it. Yeah, there we go. That's a bit better. Still need to fix up the curve right there. But I think everything above is good. Yeah, I really like the way this is moving now, just the watching some of this come into view as the head turns here. I think that looks pretty cool. I am glad I decided to go ahead and separate this strand instead of making it like part of the bangs or something. Actually, that would be pretty hard considering how large this is. But there we go. Okay, let's fix this curve right through there. Let's see here. Just like a little bit straighter in the middle, like right there. Not quite yet. It's closer. Where does it need to start getting a little bit straighter here? Maybe I should consult the mesh. What do you think, mesh? Which parts are getting a little bit compressed here? I agree. I agree that the parts over here were looking like they got a little bit thin and squashed together. Well, let's just gently space all these guys out there. Hopefully that'll help a little bit. Little curve difference right here. Truly, the joy of rigging things. It was just like, oh look, that area there, I think it's maybe like a centimeter off. Let's fix it. Okay, yeah, I think that's pretty good. Okay, so I think I'll leave it there for now. Time to do the bottom. And after this, I do think I will do this one, but I think I'm going to save this one for later. This one I'll do at the end when I do all the strands, since this one's not done yet. But for now, here. Let's see, what do I gotta do for here still? Okay. The root of this little strand still doesn't know what the heck is going on, so I guess I'll start there. He just squirted all over the place. I think he got lost. So I'll just slowly start getting all of this into place here. Let's see, it still doesn't quite look right. Does the mesh have any ideas of what's going on here? Okay, it does. Mesh is smart. Mesh always knows what's going on. I just needed to get it to kind of connect to the top of this bit of hair correctly. And always easier said than done. It's very much a case of I know what I need to do, but not always easy. Okay, but I think I got it that time. No, still not happy with it. Let's take another look here. I need to do something like this, maybe? Stretch it out a little. Is that what it's complaining about? Let's take a look here. Okay, actually, yes, that is a lot better. Excellent. All I needed to do. Okay. So I think that part's pretty good now. I don't know, I still kind of feel like the dark spot in the middle there is shifting quite a lot. I don't know if I like it. Yeah, it's like dropping down, and I don't think I like it very much. So let me... Okay. I do have to drop it a little bit just to get it to kind of sit on top of this part of the hair correctly. But I think that angle might be okay. Does that look bad? No, I don't think it looks bad. Okay. Excellent. In that case, I'll leave it just like that. So now let's fix the curve over here. And just start getting everything into place. I think it's mostly there. Do I have a bunch of stuff I need to move around? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of shifting in the highlight still. That's to be expected. It's to be expected because I haven't fixed it all yet. But I think the location is mostly correct. I do need to fix the very top just a little bit. Yeah, top's still sticking out just a little bit more than I want it to. Here I will be as picky as I want. Just get everything looking great. Okay. I think that's pretty good. So now it's just a matter of cleaning it all up and getting all the vertices to align properly so that this way I don't get any weird sliding. Okay. So let's get on that now. As I'm poking at this highlight here, I'm just realizing how funny brains are sometimes. Because the past, I don't know, week and a half or so, I've been having a hard time getting started on all of my creative projects in the morning. For the most part, that's drawing. But once I get going, it generally feels pretty good. It's just, for whatever reason, my brain's just like, oh man, but that's like work. But we could totally sit here and just, I don't know, play video games instead. And that would be fine, right? But it's like, no. It's not nearly as much fun, brain. What are you talking about? You never enjoy it as much. There's not nearly as much just raw mental zen in the video game as there is in drawing the thing. And yet, I still have trouble getting started in the morning. Because the brain gets lazy. Can't allow your brain to get lazy. If you let it, it'll never move. Brain is pretty happy doing nothing at all. But at the same time, it gets really unhappy if you do nothing at all. And it sends you weird signals. Brains are very, very contradictory. I don't think they know what they want very much. Is it any wonder why it's so hard to figure out what to do with your life? Now that we've gotten to the point where survival is maybe not guaranteed, but pretty close. Or we don't have to worry about a lot of these things like that our ancestors did. We generally don't have to worry about whether we're going to eat in the morning. Suddenly, it wants more, but doesn't give us the tools to go get it. Because it just wants to sit around and be lazy. Brains, man. See, this is where it's easier to sit around and wait for inspiration, because that's when your brain is like, heck yeah, let's go do it. But that doesn't always happen, and if you wait for it, you're never gonna get anything done. So that's why, at least for me, sometimes I have to go in and just tell my brain, you know you enjoy this, right? So, let's just do it. Let's just pick up the pen and make a single mark on the page. Let's go. And once I do that, it's actually pretty easy. This is why with writing, for the most part, I just leave my minimum at 1 word every day. Because I know that I can generally do a word or sentence pretty easily. And I can more easily convince my brain that, okay, come on, let's do the thing. Just write 1 word at a time, and we'll get there. I am really looking forward to that next day where my brain is just like, let's go. Let's just go, and I can either draw a ton of stuff or, you know, write 3,000 words in a day or whatever it happens to be that I want to do. Or just code for 8 hours straight. I don't know what it's gonna be. But I will look forward to that day. And because I've been doing all this other stuff, even when I don't have that inspiration, it'll all be ready for me once it's there. I always miss the feeling when it goes away. But I guess it wouldn't be very special if it was here all the time. Now that I look at it, the highlight on the top of the hair here is actually wrong, isn't it? Yeah, like everything got pulled downward somehow. I should fix that. Let's pull everything back up here. Get rid of this little bit of sliding. Yeah, I can see where the gap is. It's right there. So that's where everything got pulled. So I'll bring it back, straighten out the triangles. And then all should be well. Actually, still shifting downward quite a lot, isn't it? Yeah, quite a lot. Okay. Gotta do a little bit more then. Let's go. Just gotta keep fixing up the things for a couple of days, it looks like. Okay, so I moved all of these vertices, like, a lot. So hopefully I'm not going to regret my life choices here, but I did feel like that area that I was looking at was, like, just really, really far off. So I wanted to try to get that into the right place here. So let's see if that did it just a little bit better there. I'll straighten it up after. I'll straighten it up after I check it. Oh yeah, that's so much better. I can see why I didn't do it like that though, so maybe I should... Yeah, I think the problem might have actually been in the left head turn, not the lower left. So we're gonna do a little bit more vertex moving here. And then down here too. There we go. Let's see how this is. I don't know, there's like a shadow right in the middle there that I just felt like was moving really hard, and it didn't look very good against the strand that I was just fixing up. So I wanted to try to make that just a little bit better here. And I do think that's better. It's no longer kind of wildly thrashing, so I'll take it. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. So now, last corner. Because I intend to do the upper right a little bit later. The upper right will come when I finish all of the other hair in that area. But the lower right is complete in theory, so I want to get that part done now. Doesn't look too bad though. Let's see, there's some sliding down here, but I think the overall curve is... it's mostly fine, but I should probably slide that up considerably here. Just like that. And then it looks like I have a spot on the very top that I need to fix. Okay, yeah, I think that's doing a little bit better. And once again, I feel like I have to fix this part that sits underneath a bunch of the hair here. Right over here. And then at the very top of the strand here, pushed it a little bit too far down. Let's round it out a little bit, make that curve nice and friendly. A little bit friendlier. I don't know, there's just something very friendly about circles in my opinion. Alright, there we go. Now I think I can start cleaning it up. Get all the highlights in the right place and fix the very top of this. So let's see here. How are these vertices moving? They need to move a little bit more like this together. We're just going to consult the mesh and ask where everything is going wrong, as always. It's working quite well, so I see no reason to stop. Now it's time to line up that little root part again. Always seems to have just a little bit of trouble here. Never quite seems to know where it wants to go. That's okay. I'll help it find its way through all of this. And I think finishing up this strand might be the last thing that I do for today. I'm getting hungry. So we'll see if I want to do anything more after that. But on the bright side, hopefully once I finish the strand I won't have this random thing to hyperfixate on and I can just get back to cleaning up the upper right. But honestly, I don't mind too much. I don't mind just seeing something that I feel like is a little bit off and that I can make look a lot better if I just gave it a little bit more attention. Because I really do think that this strand, from the past 2 days of just poking at it and seeing what I could do, really does look much better now. Lots of friendly little curves on it now. And I don't know, when her head moves around, it just looks that much more energetic to me. Maybe it's just me, because I know what went into making it, but whatever, that's fine. I think it's unironically totally fine. So when it comes down to it, making stuff is just fun. It is. So much fun. Okay, I actually need to think about this one for a second, though, because sometimes I feel like it's going a little bit too low. So am I moving the hair that it sits on too much? I think I might be, actually. So let's hide this for a second and actually take a look there. Yeah, I think I am, actually. No wonder I can't get it to sit in the right place very well right now. So I'll just very slightly pull some of that up, and hopefully that'll make my life a little bit easier. Let's make sure that still lines up with everything. Actually, I do think it looks better there. How about from here? Yep, looks perfect. Okay, let's get this little strand to sit on top of it now. Because now I can just raise this up a little bit higher and have everything look right. Okay, yeah, that's much better. Wow. It's amazing how much of a difference those tiny little changes can make. Alright. So now we'll go ahead and clean up that curve on the top. And once I'm happy with that, I can start consulting the mesh and get everything looking good on the highlights. I think that's pretty okay. Maybe a little bit more in the corner here. Let me actually take a look at this. Yeah, it's shrinking just a little bit too much there. Yeah, there we go. I think that's pretty okay. So now I can just start spreading out the vertices a little bit more nicely. See what they're complaining about and what the mesh has to say for how to fix it. I believe in you, mesh. You always have good ideas. Just gonna try to get this looking a little bit smoother here. Here we are. Don't got any weird crunchy spots anymore. So let's get all of this nice and organized. Alright, there's a slight contradiction between how the right works and how the bottom works, but I don't actually think that the strand looks too bad going between them. I need to fix the highlights a little bit more still. But everything else I think seems okay. Maybe it's not okay. Let's take a look here. Okay, maybe it's okay. Maybe everything is okay. Yeah, I don't actually think I have to change that much. I mostly have it right. Let's just get the strand nice and smooth and clean. And then I think it'll be okay there. Let's see. Yeah, seems fine. Just gotta kind of perfect all the little curves on it. I feel like there's a pretty big gap right here between the vertices. Might be why the curve of the hair is a little bit wonky right here. Okay. Is that okay? I think it's okay. Yeah, I think it's okay. Got a little bit of a wave right through there, but that is very fixable. You can definitely tell I'm getting hungry, though. It's making it a little bit harder to think properly. So let's take it nice and slow and really make sure that I get every part of this curve in the right spot here. Try to get rid of all of those crunchy little lines. Always easier said than done. Wasn't quite satisfied with the location of the curve, but I think the curve itself is okay. Just kind of touching it up after that big movement. I don't know, I don't think I like that either. Yeah, I caved it in a little bit too much. My brain is doing its best to distract me with thoughts of food. But I fight my brain and win every day, so it's fine. Because I want to do the thing, so I'm gonna do the thing. No amount of easy lizard brain distractions is gonna stop me from getting this curve the way I want it to be. Just gonna make it take longer. And then you will... and then the brain will get to eat even later. So I should really stop it. Okay. I'm just gonna take it one step at a time here. Because it really was looking like the strand was just a little bit caved in there. How is that? So it's still looking a little bit caved in. There's a spot right there that still looks a little bit caved in. I will fix that momentarily. Oh, now it's moving too far out. Okay, I need to push it in a little bit. There's a little bit too much movement there. Nope, still not right. Still not quite right. Art is hard. It's okay, it'll feel good once I finally get it. Okay, I think I finally got it. Oh, that was a stubborn little curve there. It's okay, it happens sometimes. I just remember when I'm drawing hair in my drawings that sometimes I can take like 20 or 30 tries to get one strand the way that I want it to. And I have my fingers there on Control Z for every time that I get it wrong. But there's a particular way these things need to go. And there's no compromising it. It just will not look right if it's off. You can see I'm poking out again, so even I still see that it's still very, very slightly off in a spot. Also, the highlight needs to be a little bit higher up. That's a bit easier to fix. That's just a minor shift of the vertice. There's a wave in there. I'm gonna need to get that. Okay, now that I look at it, I actually do feel like the main bulk of the strand over here is a little bit too far to the left. And that actually moved it too much. I am very surprised. Okay, so it wasn't the main bulk of it. It was just a tiny little piece up there. Fair enough. That might also explain why I was having some trouble lining up some stuff up here with it. If it was also just a little bit off. Alright, let's try to get rid of some of those little wavy spots that were bothering me. Yeah, I think that's better. I think that kinda got him. Yeah, seems pretty good. Alright, I think I can be happy with that for today. We'll see if the me of tomorrow still likes it. But for now, I think this is where I will stop for today. So, thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I'll see you all tomorrow.